Hey there, welcome or welcome back, depending on if you've been here before. I'm Amy, and I'm so glad that you are here and that we're connecting and you're taking time to watch this. So I wanted to chat today about a recent experience I had a couple days ago that mimicked a lot of the work that I do with women. And one of the big things that we talk about when we first get started working together is regaining faith in yourself or regaining trust in yourself again. And this really came when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and after going through all of that, and I was working to really move my life forward and take steps to create this big, bold life that I knew I wanted. After having gone through something like that, I found that it was really hard to trust myself, because I found myself in that situation of I thought I'd done everything right, and yet there I was, right, facing breast cancer and then going through everything that came along with breast cancer. And so of course I started second guessing and doubting everything that I was thinking and the steps that I wanted to take. And I think that even without a major, soul-shocking or life-shocking experience, self-trust, trusting ourselves and trusting our intuition is just, in my opinion, not something that we are taught to nurture as we grow through life. If you think back to a young age, you might remember, feeling something or feeling an emotion or saying something and someone saying, "Oh, you're crazy," or "that didn't happen," or all these little things that we know then guide us toward losing that trust in ourselves and turning to the external, asking for other people's opinions, making sure that someone else is going to like it, or making sure that, what we are thinking is actually right, when actually whatever you believe is true is your truth, right? So because many of the women who I work with come to me after they have had some sort of major life-shocking experience, such as, like I did, a diagnosis, or maybe a divorce, or a loss of a loved one, or even really just that reality of knowing like they have outgrown the life that they're living in, and they're tired and exhausted of living in that box. But no matter what the reason is that has brought them to me, one of the first things that we talk about is really how to trust yourself again. And so I wanted to share with you a personal story that happened, as I said, just a couple days ago, that I had to be reminded to trust my intuition and to trust the process and to have faith in it all. So I was at a women's circle attending, I do also facilitate women's circles here locally, but I also attend them. And this was one where I was attending. And we were going to be talking about something you may have heard of recently if you are watching this around the time that it's recorded, which is that we have just celebrated the Lunar New Year, and we have moved into the year of the horse, or the year of the fire horse. And so we were talking about what the theme was, really coming to our own conclusion of what the year of the horse meant for us. And so the facilitator guided us through a beautiful guided visualization meditation. And as we were going through the meditation, I even found myself second guessing what I was seeing in my own consciousness, in my own mind screen, right? She was saying like, what colors do you see? And what does the horse look like? And what does the horse represent? And I was finding myself thinking like, oh, well, am I only seeing that because XYZ? Am I only thinking it represents that because I listened to that podcast on the way here that made me feel that way? And I kept finding that I was like second guessing myself. And I was like, what is going on here? And anyhow, so we went through this beautiful guided visualization. And then afterward, she had us do an art project. And art is usually for me like, I don't consider myself a good artist. I never have. But the whole thing was about just playing and being free and like drawing what you saw as your horse's representation. And so for me, words come to me a lot. And so my picture has not only my horse, but I also wrote a lot of words around it. And as I was doing this, I was realizing that for me, the horse, like there's a lot of this talk right now, on social media or on YouTube videos or wherever it is that you might be, finding information. But if you are in that realm and follow people that talk about this year of the horse, a lot of it is this energy of like, to me, what I perceive as like speed and like all this big energy. And when I say big energy, I mean, it's this like, you think of a horse, a fire horse. It's like we just came out of the year of the snake and we've shed, right? And so now we're ready to just run. This fire horse is ready to run and ready to create and ready to do its thing, right? And take off and make massive moves. And to me, what I saw, interestingly, was this horse in the ocean, and I was riding it, very similar to an experience that I had when I attended a retreat in Costa Rica where we rode horses along the water. But everything about my visualization was like very slow and flowy and fun, and like this idea that it's all play. And I'm looking here at it. Yeah, I wrote down, it's all a fun ride. It's all a fun ride. And everything I was writing down, this courage, this bravery, this expansion, fun, trust, play, slow, allow, all of these words, what they evoked in me was not this fiery, speedy energy. So that was the first part of it. And I found that really interesting for myself, that was how I'm feeling, because I think my point in that is that if you are someone who is hearing some of this information, to trust your own intuition, like of what does it mean to you? Yes, it might have specific like cultural or spiritual meaning, but try, like what I was doing was trying to find within me what the year of the horse meant, as opposed to just going with what we are told that it meant. And that was a lesson for me in that moment. And then the second part was, she had one of my favorite oracle card decks, which is the Animal Spirit deck. And she had us, close our eyes and maybe come up with a question. And my question was, a lot of times I find that I fall out of that easeful energy, right? And I do it out of the side of my brain that kicks in, which is the conditioned part of like, no, you must push. Like you must work, you must do all the things to get to where you want to go. And I'm not saying that we don't make moves and that there's not strategy and things like that. But it's a balance, right? And so a lot of times I will fall quickly out of that playful energy that I had seen in the horse. And so the question I posed before picking a card was, what animal will support me when I fall off my belief of the horse or fall off the horse? And I chose a grasshopper. And without getting into too much, I really realized that the grasshopper is kind of this, I'm looking at some notes that I made when I was there. And the grasshopper is like this needing to be reminded for me to take a leap of faith and trust and play and allow and be in the flow and get back on my horse, right? And put my blinders on to what the horse means to me. And that it's, it's always bringing you forward no matter what, right? There's no attachment to failure or success. It just is. You're just moving forward. And so we came into this conversation, and at first I was just like, I don't know, like I was just feeling kind of wishy-washy about the connection between what I had felt with the horse and what I had here in the grasshopper. And during this conversation, what came up was actually, we went pretty deep into what this all meant for me. And there really was this feeling of, Amy, you just have to trust. Like, if this is what you're being shown, trust it. If you are being shown that, and again, this doesn't mean I'm not going to take action. It doesn't mean I'm just going to like sit back and say all the affirmations, because that's crazy. That doesn't work. In my experience, right? It's the mindset piece plus the action plus the energy behind the action. And so it's trusting that for me right now, being in more of that playful flow state, taking action in that energy is what is going to bring me closer to my own vision, and really trusting and having faith. And I find that this can be one of the most challenging things that we run into, is trusting and having faith. And so something that came up for me still in this conversation with the other women was I realized, like, gosh, there have been times that I've trusted and things worked out, right? And so I then started like programming in my mind, showing my mind the evidence that I can trust, because here are all these times that I've trusted and it has led me where I wanted, or maybe needed, even if it wasn't where I wanted, maybe where I needed to go. And it's all just that reminder and that confirmation of we have this entire system inside of us, and we have our intuition and this like world of consciousness, and who knows, like, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation that I want to get into, is all about consciousness and what is consciousness. But for the purpose of this video, I won't go down that long rabbit hole yet. But really, like, I believe that in that visualization, whatever I saw, it doesn't matter if it was because it was the fact that I listened to a podcast before that, or because I associated the horse with Costa Rica or with summer camp. It does not matter, because whatever I saw is exactly what I was meant to see. It is what my consciousness was bringing to me, or the global consciousness, or whatever you want to consider that, was bringing to me to see in that moment. And to be able to know that, yes, I have this human body, but my soul, my higher self, my whatever you want to call it, that resonates with you is so much deeper than that. And she knows. And this has been a huge journey for me to understand and really know that there is a part of me that has all of this wisdom and all of this knowledge. And it's really just tapping back into her, listening, and then moving from that space. And to finish us up, I want to share one other thing. And some people would say, oh, these things are coincidence or things like that. But here's another thing I want to share with you. So before I came on video, I wanted to you may see me looking down. It's because I wanted to write down, since it had been a couple days since this happened, I wanted to make sure that I recalled everything as it was. And so I just made some little notes here, but I went into my drawer to just pull out a piece of paper. And the piece of paper that I pulled down was a scrap piece of paper that I had written on at a women's circle that I facilitated. I don't even know when it was, but it's been sitting in my drawer. And it was during our journaling time. And all it said was, slow down, listen, stop doubting, hear your soul's song, trust, with a big heart and a circle around it. I choose to believe that there's a reason that I even pulled this single piece of paper out of my drawer when there's lots of other pieces of paper. And I'm going to trust that what I saw for the year of the horse for me is exactly what I needed to see. And that the grasshopper was exactly the message that I needed to hear. And that all of it is to serve my highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of all beings everywhere, because we are all connected. And while something may not make sense to me, as long as I trust it and I have faith in it, that it is for the greater good of everybody, that's all that matters, really. So that's it. Story time with Amy is over for today. And I will keep you updated should any of this come up again, as I'm sure it will, with following my own trust and my own intuition down this journey of life. Okay, sending you so much love.